Now we'll tie a Eumer plastic tube, brass tube, whichever way. But in this case, we're going to use a Eumer brass 15mm teardrop tube to add some more weight to the fly. But the same technique can be used to tie, instead of the brass tube inside, a large Eumer plastic tube also. But the basic idea is we'll tie the complete body from the back all the way up to the front inner plastic sleeve. And here it's important to make sure that the inner plastic sleeve is left long so we can have plenty of room to tie. Here we'll put in the back tube to hold the hook holding tube. Put that in there nice and snug so it doesn't come loose when we're tying. Here I'll put a tiny drop of super glue to make sure those don't come apart. And we'll begin our tying on the plastic tube. So the idea here is that the brass tube will get plenty of weight, and this fly will fish deeper than a normal plastic if it was on just a plastic tube. Now we'll put a bit of floral fiber for the tail with a nice bright hit point. Tie it in, overlap it back so it's nice and tight. And we'll cut that in a way so it gives it a bit of shape. Taper it up. Look nice. Next I'll tie on a piece of silver La Cartoon mini flat braid. And we'll tie in the mini flat braid black for the body. The silver will hold down the hackle, the body hackle. Once we get that, we'll put it back to get it out of the way. Tie in the black body material. Bring that around. Each wrap overlaps with the previous one. Just a little bit. We'll go up to the edge of the plastic tube, or however far we want. We'll finish go up to the brass, or to the plastic inner sleeve with dubbing material. We'll bring it to this far, tie that in. Take some dubbing material and we'll dub over the brass tube. tie that in, and now we're on the plastic tube. Right at the edge of the brass tube, and notice how the brass tube is completely covered up. And at this stage, the plastic tube, if it would have tied on the outer large plastic tube, it would look about the same at this stage. Now we have the brass in there for weight. We'll tie in the body hackle. And we'll go around once right in the front, twice, and we'll start coming around and work our way towards the back of the fly. Nice and even. And we take a hold of the mini flat braid silver that we had, and we go in the opposite direction and tie in that and hold that body hackle in. Please take your time at this stage. This is to get everything nice and even. Wiggling it a bit back and forth to make sure we don't push down the hackles. And we come down all the way to the plastic tube and we tie it in. Now we'll tease it with a Velcro brush, make it come about live. And we'll continue tying the wings. And now it's important to remember to make sure that back flashable tail is in the upright position. Start off with a little bit of flash. This is some clear flash. Cut it between 5 and 10 strands, and we'll tie it from about halfway, tie it in a couple times around and bring back the excess over the fly, and we tie that in, press down a bit so they spread out a little bit, and we cut each one to different lengths so it doesn't look too uniform.